Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to The Bachelor latest news. The Bachelor season 29 ended with Grant Ellis proposing to Juliana Pasquarosa, but the moment was ruined for viewers because they just watched him dump Alicia Gare. So the show must air the breakup and engagement on two different nights in order to make the love story more believable. Grant, a now 31-year-old day trader from Newark, New Jersey, chose Juliana, a 28-year-old client service associate from Newton, Massachusetts, and Alicia, a 31-year-old venture capitalist from Salt Lake City, Utah, as his final two women. Throughout the Bachelor season 29 finale and even before it, Grant was so torn between Juliana and Alicia. During the fantasy suites, he told Juliana that he was falling in love with her, but he told Alicia, "I love you." He even questioned if he should end the show early and choose Alicia, but he then decided to continue to pursue his connection with Juliana as well. During the finale, Alicia was shocked when Grant broke up with her, and she accused him of misleading her. Then the show aired him proposing to Juliana. This roller coaster of emotions ruined the finale, so The Bachelor should make a change. When Grant finally made up his mind at the end of The Bachelor season 29, he had to break up with Alicia before he could propose to Juliana. Because she was sent to him first, viewers knew that he was about to end things with her, but she thought they were about to get engaged. After Alicia made a heartfelt speech, Grant broke up with her, and she was shocked and confused. Her entire demeanor changed as she asked him why, just the night before. When she said that she couldn't wait to get engaged, he'd agreed and repeatedly told her that he loved her. Alicia felt that Grant had led her on with his reassurances, and it appeared that way to the viewers as well, many of whom were convinced that he was going to choose her because of the way he'd acted towards her all season long. He even told her, "I love you," before she said it to him. It was a brutal breakup that blindsided Alicia and the audience, and made it hard to then shift to being happy about him getting engaged to Juliana. Because Grant was so indecisive, he really began to seem like a villain who was leading the women on. By falling in love with both Juliana and Alicia and letting them know, he put himself in a terrible position. He really seemed especially unhinged when he picked out an engagement ring, but he said that he didn't know which woman he'd give it to. Grant's confusion about choosing between Juliana and Alicia made him look like the bad guy who was inevitably going to break someone's heart. It was challenging to root for Grant to get engaged when he seemed so completely unready to do so. If all of this indecision had aired on a different night, it would have given the audience a chance to process it and forget about it, which might have made it easier to accept when he finally did choose Juliana. Instead, Grant broke Alicia's heart and seemed to get engaged to Juliana when he'd told another woman that he loved her just the night before. Grant didn't seem ready to get down on one knee at all. As Grant himself said, it wasn't normal for him to be going into an engagement still trying to figure out who his person was. After watching Alicia and Grant's breakup, and how he really didn't seem to think that he'd missiled her, it was difficult to be happy about his engagement to Juliana. Viewers saw most of what Alicia was questioning Grant about, and it was hard to believe that he didn't choose her. However, instead of having time to digest all of this, the audience had to immediately shift from watching Grant break Alicia's heart to proposing to Juliana. It was hard to focus on and invest in their engagement when there was so much to process. It was hard to believe that Grant and Juliana could have a strong future relationship, especially when Alicia told him that Juliana would probably have questions for him after watching the show back. The whole time that Grant and Juliana were getting engaged, the question of whether they were still together loomed over the show, because no one knew how Juliana would react when she saw how torn Grant was so close to the proposal. In the end, she accepted it, but the moment was ruined as viewers experienced the whiplash of watching a breakup and an engagement, all within a few minutes of each other. To alleviate this problem, The Bachelor should consider airing the lead's breakup with the runner-up on a different night from the engagement. Although they happened on the same day during filming, viewers don't need to be on that emotional roller coaster. It ruins the moment as they're still reeling from the breakup, and makes the proposal harder to believe. Grant and Juliana's moment was ruined because the memory of Liscia's breakup was too fresh. Of course, not every Bachelor season ends with a harsh breakup. During Joey Graziadis's season, runner-up Daisy Kent self-eliminated because she knew that Joey was going to choose Kelsey Anderson. So she decided to make it easier for them by bowing out gracefully. She even rode with Kelsey in the same limousine to the final rose ceremony while holding hands. This was completely different from what happened with Grant and Liscia, and it didn't take away from Joey and Kelsey's engagement. In fact, Daisy's realization made it even more clear that Joey knew exactly who and what he wanted. If Grant's breakup with Liscia had aired the week or even night before his proposal to Juliana, it would have made the engagement much more believable. Instead, viewers saw a Bachelor who was portrayed as being confused all the way up until the last minute, which left them questioning why Grant was proposing when he clearly didn't seem ready. It also left people to wonder if Grant and Juliana would even still be together after the final rose episode. However, if the breakup had aired on a different night, it would have given people the chance to process and forget about it in order to appreciate the engagement more. While airing the proposal on a separate night might ruin some of the suspense, viewers don't watch The Bachelor to see the most dramatic finale ever. Rather, they want to get swept up in a true love story, and Grant's season didn't really fully give them that. Instead, the focus was on his indecision, which only made him look bad in the end. Juliana and Grant seem very happy now, and they deserved better than having their engagement be an afterthought to conflict. The Bachelor engagement would be more believable if it happened in a standalone episode, and Grant and Juliana's love story was front and center. Grant Ellis was the star of The Bachelor season 29, but there are several signs that he wasn't ready to take on the lead role. Two frontrunners quickly emerged: Juliana Pasquarosa, a Massachusetts-based client service associate, and Liscia Gare, a Utah native whose deep emotional connection with Grant made her a clear choice. As the weeks went on, cracks started to form. Liscia's confession about her Mormon faith and her expectations for marriage added a new layer of complexity, while Juliana's unwavering chemistry caused Grant to choose her in the end. The Bachelor season 29 finale was nothing short of explosive. After introducing both women to his family, Grant found himself torn, but he wasn't really. When it came down to the final decision, he followed his heart and chose Juliana, leaving Liscia blindsided. The heartbreak was palpable as Liscia finally confronted Grant for leading her on, a confrontation that carried over into the After the Final Rose special. Grant could have avoided the mess, but he wasn't ready to take on the lead role. Grant made Liscia and Juliana feel like they were the one throughout the process, which isn't fair. His actions raised red flags, as he told both contestants he loved them. Liscia was ultimately shocked when Grant chose Juliana in the finale, despite his repeated assurances of love and commitment. The drama escalated after the final rose, where Liscia confronted Grant about the mixed signals she received. She claimed she had no doubt she would be his final pick based on their conversations, and he completely blindsided her. Meanwhile, Juliana admitted she had concerns about how seriously Grant had taken their relationship. Grant's indecisiveness, emotional recklessness, and willingness to string two women along suggested he wasn't ready to be the Bachelor's lead. Despite all the drama at the end, The Bachelor Season 29 got off to a super slow start due to Grant's inability to form meaningful connections at the beginning of the season. Producer interference may have even played a role in shaping Grant's relationships, potentially manufacturing drama instead of fostering organic chemistry because he wasn't doing it on his own. Grant's heart just never seemed fully in it on the show. With such a slow start and no clear frontrunners early on, Grant's season lacked the emotional weight that typically defines a successful Bachelor journey, further proving he may not have been the right choice for the role. He seemed to close his eyes and randomly pick Juliana in the end. Grant's reputation has plummeted after The Bachelor Season 29. He shocked Licia when he picked Juliana, but this pattern of behavior wasn't isolated. Multiple contestants, including Dina and Serafina, said they experienced similar blindsiding from Grant. Grant's indecision hasn't made him look like a good guy. Rather, he looks insincere and unable to make decisions. Grant's reputation might be ruined after The Bachelor Season 29, but only time will tell. The Bachelor Season 29's Grant Ellis proposed to Juliana Pasquarosa at the end of their season, but are they still together? Grant, a 30-year-old day trader from Newark, New Jersey, and Juliana, a 28-year-old client service associate from Newton, Massachusetts, had an instant connection on premiere night that grew stronger and deeper throughout the season. From their magical one-on-one date to their memorable hometown date to their meaningful overnight fantasy suite date, they've built a special relationship. During the final episodes of The Bachelor Season 29, Grant was torn between Juliana and runner-up Licia Gare, a 31-year-old venture capitalist from Salt Lake City, Utah. However, he ultimately decided that Juliana was his person, and they got engaged when the show wrapped filming in late October 2025. After months of hiding their relationship, they finally were able to go public and share their love with the world. Here's what happened to Grant and Juliana since The Bachelor Season 29 finale aired, and what their future together looks like. The Bachelor Season 29, after the final Rose episode, revealed that Grant and Juliana are still together and happily engaged. Since they were able to come out of hiding and go public as a couple, they've been very vocal in interviews and on their social media accounts about how much they love each other. They also have plans for Grant to move to Boston so that he and Juliana can live together. In a post-show interview with People, Grant and Juliana gave details about their future together and why they chose Boston as their home base. Grant, who currently lives in Houston, Texas, explained, "I love the dynamic that her town has and that her family has, and I want to be close to that. I'm going to have my house in Houston, but I'm also going to come over there, and we're going to make it work." Juliana shared, "We'll take a peek at some apartments and see what our vibe is like and where we want to be." Grant added, "We're going to figure it out." Juliana is excited to live everyday life with her new fiancé, Grant, including having dinner at her favorite local restaurant. She said, "I can't wait to go back to Olivia's Bistro, eat some mushroom tagliatelle, have some red wine, and just have a normal dinner. I think that has been something since day one of even starting this process. And knowing what comes after if it is you, I just can't wait to live a normal life with you." Grant and Juliana both want to get married in the future, but Juliana told People that there's no rush for them to tie the knot. She explained, "I just feel like we want to live life together for a minute. A wedding is a big thing, and there's so many people we have to meet. I want them all to have an opportunity to see Grant, see us, and just have it make sense to everybody." Grant added that their wedding, which Juliana wants to take place in Italy, is going to be a special event, sharing, "We're going to live it up. There's going to be wine, there's going to be family, and it's going to be a celebration of life. When the time is right, we're going to handle it, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have a really fun wedding. Although Grant seemed torn between Juliana and Licia during the Bachelor Season 29 finale, there's no doubt now that he and Juliana are the perfect match. They're deeply in love and planning their future together. It's great to hear that Grant is already planning to move to Juliana's hometown, because long-distance relationships can be very difficult, especially for Bachelor Nation couples. Hopefully, their engagement will lead to marriage, and they'll live happily ever after. Grant Ellis is engaged, and we can reveal spoilers from the season finale of The Bachelor. Reality Steve already dropped the spoilers before the season even started, but now ABC has confirmed the winner of the most recent season of the show. The 3-hour season finale episode aired on Monday night, March 24, and Grant popped the question during the dramatic conclusion, which was filmed in the Dominican Republic. Host Jesse Palmer said during the finale that in Bachelor history, it has never come down to the wire in this way, with Grant being unable to come up with his decision until moments before he had to choose between the final two women. The final two women were 28-year-old Juliana, a client service associate from Massachusetts, and 31-year-old Licia, a venture capitalist from Utah. Licia was the first woman to arrive at the final rose ceremony, where she professed her love to Grant, and said that she started falling for him in the second week. "I love you so much, and I feel so lucky to be loved by you," she told him. Grant unfortunately did not reciprocate the feelings. "Licia, I love you very much, and I want to give you everything that you deserve. But I'm not your person," he said. "I'm sorry to have gotten to this point. My emotional connection is stronger with someone else," he said. Juliana was next to show up at the rose ceremony, and she was revealed as the final recipient of a rose and an engagement ring. "I just want you to know I love you, and you'll make me the luckiest girl in the world if I get to spend the rest of my life with you," Juliana said to Grant. Grant got down on one knee and asked Juliana to marry him. She said yes. Then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.